So I go to labor and delivery, which is right across the street. And I get admitted, and first thing they do is put the thing on my stomach, and you know, they track the baby heart rate and tracking contractions for me. Didn't have no contractions, didn't feel a contraction the whole pregnancy. But my son heart rate was beautiful, perfect. Like, my blood pressure still continued to be very high. And then they started having difficult conversations with me. They wanted to send a NICU to talk to me. They called my OBGYN to come talk to, but she didn't come that day. She came the next day. But it was just a lot going on. I had to sign paperwork, consenting to labor. Basically, they gave me two steroid shots to, like, I guess, like, not develop my baby lungs, but develop my baby lungs. And it just was a lot. NICU came in to talk to me, and that was like one of the most difficult conversations I probably had to have this whole pregnancy. Like, basically, they was telling me that I was having a baby at 30 weeks. Because I was 29 weeks, 6 days on that Monday. And Tuesday I would have been 30 weeks. And I'm like, not even trying to hear what they say, because I'm like, I understand what y'all saying. Like, y'all telling me, like, all the risk. But my baby is only 2 pounds. It was just like, in my head, you know, it felt like a miscarriage all over again. Just now I'm more attached. Like, I carried my baby for 23 extra weeks, you know, because I miscarried at 7 weeks. It just felt like my heart was getting ripped out my chest, you know. And I'm like arguing with the lady because she said at 30 weeks, you know, everything would be fine. The survival rate is like 99%. And this in my head, I'm just like, well, why y'all can't just keep me in the hospital? And I can have him at 34 weeks. I feel more comfortable at 34 weeks than 30 weeks. And I'm telling you, I'm going back and forth with the lady, you hear me? He's like, ma'am, you're not taking my baby. I'd have been through 30 weeks. So she was just like, I know it's a difficult decision. I know it's a difficult conversation, but I'm like just trying to reassure you, like, everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. But in my heart, in my mind, I just felt like, you know, I'm not trying to hear that. I do not want to have a baby at 30 weeks. I know I have my son at 30 weeks. And I just felt like, you know, I know it's for the benefit of my baby health, the benefit of my health, but it's just like I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And you know, I just felt like I was not robbed of the 3rd trimester, because obviously I've had my baby now. Like, I'm not pregnant. I'm not even pregnant no more. You know, and I'm recording this video for you guys. I'm not pregnant anymore. I already had my son. But it was just very difficult. And I was swollen really bad. And they pretty much monitored me for about 2 or 3 hours in that room. And then I was able to get a bigger room. And I had a really good nurse at first. Like, she was really good, and she changed to 7. And I was just like starving. They put me on a liquid diet. I was starving. And like, I kept like asking my nurse, like, can you just give me like some broth or something I could drink? Because I'm so hungry. And I had my appointment for 9 o'clock that morning, or 10 o'clock that morning. The only thing I had the whole day was egg rice. And it's been a very long day. the anatomy, having an appointment, anatomy scan. I'm thinking I, go home and go eat and give me something along the way. To be admitted to the hospital, and y'all giving me medicine, y'all telling me y'all gotta take my baby, and the only thing I want is broth and the turkey. Like, and she was like, "Well, I can't get you anything to eat." I'm not asking for nothing to eat. Can't you give me some broth, ma'am? And I had to call my parents, like, crying on the phone because I was so hungry. Like, and it's significant to me because I felt like my stomach was touching my back, and I still have my son in my stomach. And I'm like, I have to eat. I have to put some on my stomach. Like, I am still pregnant. So she like finally got me some like chicken noodle something, whatever. I didn't care. I just needed something to drink that was hot. And I felt fine afterwards. And then they started talking about they had to give me magnesium. And I had 3 IVs. I had one in my hand. I had one right here, which I still have bruises from, and I had another one right here. I had 3 IVs. And it was taking my blood pressure, constantly drawing blood from here and drawing blood out of my hand. It was a lot. They poked me so many times. They pumped me with some magnesium. From my understanding, the magnesium was to, I guess, help my blood pressure. Because my blood pressure was still high. They was giving me blood pressure medicine. It was just a lot going on. It was just so much going on. And that was all in that one day. And by the time I had got all that magnesium in me, I think I just blacked out at that point. And like, he had to tell me, my dad was at the hospital, my brother was at the hospital for like 2 hours, and I was just out cold. Like, I was just knocked out. And I didn't even know they was there. It was just a long day. So next day was Tuesday, which was the 26th, September 26th. And my OBGYN came to see me. And she was like, "Girl, what had happened?" And at this point, I'm in a better mood. I still was pregnant. And she talked to me for a long time. She told me that I had preeclampsia. So I got preeclampsia. Basically, I was filled with so much fluid. They put oxygen on my nose. I'm upload pictures and stuff too, so I can show you guys. I had oxygen on my nose. And it was giving me they gave me the mask too to help me breathe. I had fluid in my lungs. Fluid all in my body. Fluid in my hands, and my arms, and my feet, because I was so swollen. My blood pressure, they completely dropped really low. I believe because of the magnesium. And I had preeclampsia. The protein in my urine was sky high. They put a catheter in me. On that Monday night, I had got a catheter. And she just told me, like, basically, my body just did its own thing. People's bodies do what they want to do. And my body, for me, just was not working. My kidneys, they pretty much was telling me I was going into kidney failure. And then the next thing for me would have been dialysis. Because my kidneys was not doing good. They was working against everything. And that just made everything 20 times worse. So yeah. And I did everything I could in my pregnancy to take care of myself. I really did. But, I guess it was my time. And it was my son's time. And she talked to me about delivery. She was like, we're gonna have the baby today on the 26th. And how do I feel? She said, because they told me, like, she's like, I know you've been a bit emotional your whole pregnancy. For the first moment I met you, and I always asked you, what's the tears for? And I just told her, like, I just didn't expect it to go like this. Like, I didn't get to take maternity pictures. I didn't get to feel a contraction. I didn't get to do my son's room. I was going to start nesting at 13 weeks. I didn't get to my son's room. Like, I didn't get to wash his clothes. I don't have nothing. All I had was nursing bras because I had just, but I was gonna buy all my postpartum stuff in one thing, but I decided to break it up into smaller packages. I didn't have like everything I wanted to have, like my gown, my son outfit for when, people to take pictures of him. I was gonna order that. Like, it was just so much that I didn't get to do, that I was just telling her about. And then this is a lot. Like, y'all telling me I got all these health problems now. It's just not blood pressure. Now my kidneys are basically failing me. I got fluid in my lungs. I can't fucking breathe. It's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gave me magnesium. Y'all gave me steroids. Like, y'all telling me y'all gonna yank my son out my stomach in 30 weeks. My placenta wasn't giving my baby everything my baby needs to grow. This is a lot, man. I'm sorry, but I need a second. I just need a second. So, she was like, I understand, but you're gonna do good. You're gonna be okay. Your son gonna be okay. And she said, we gonna induce you, and you're gonna have a vaginal birth today, or a vaginal birth today or tomorrow. And I was just like, okay. I was like, at this point, I got it out, and I have accepted the fact that I will be having my son. I don't have no say so. And honestly, what am I thinking? It's about my son. It's not about me. Because if I was to die on this table, as long as I'm able to see his face is all I care about. Like, and I really felt like I was going to die. I'm not even lying to y'all, because it was just so much going on. It was just very traumatic. It was happening so fast. It was happening extremely fast. And I felt like I was going to die. And I just told her, like, and I never even told nobody this. I didn't even peek this and that, but I told her, I was like, regardless if I have a vaginal C-section, because you tell me I'm vaginal, I was like, if I die, please keep me alive long enough so I can see my son's face. That's all I want to see. Because, like, I pray for this baby, and all I want is this baby. And, the Lord allowed me to carry this baby for 30 weeks. But I just want to see my son's face. And she was like, do not think like that. We got to think positive, and you're going to do more to see your son's face. You better hold your son. You're going to be at the bottom with your son. Your son is going to be okay, and you're going to be okay. And I'm going to be there for you. And and she's always been so supportive my whole pregnancy. But, I just had to, like, have a real moment with her. And, she was like, okay, she was like, I'm going to keep you updated. But I just wanted to let you know what has happened, to get us to this point. A lot of my family came to see me. My parents, Pete mom, he's been there the whole week, came to see me that Tuesday. I pretty much just relaxed after that difficult conversation that morning. I pretty much just relaxed throughout that day. They decided to not induce me that Tuesday. And I got a decent rest that night, and then the next day was the 27th. So on the 27th, bright and early, my OBGYN came in, and she said that you can have the baby today. And I smiled, and I was excited, and I was like, okay. And I prayed. And I called Pete, told Pete, come, listen, the baby coming today. And she said, she decided, as her patient, the best thing for me is to have a C-section. She does not want to put my body through any more stress. She does not want to put my son through any stress. I've already had a hard time these last couple of days, and she just wants me to have my son. NICU take my son, and they're gonna take care of him and start taking care of him right away. And she wants me to have him so that they could start working on me and give me everything that I need, you know, so that I could get better for my son and better for me, so I could live to see my son and, you know, be there for my son. So, okay, so I already had the oxygen in my nose. Anesthesia came and talked to me about, like, basically what's gonna happen, things like that. And she told me that Pete has to get gowned up. But he wasn't there yet, so I told her, like, can we wait like 10 more minutes and stuff? And they waited, and she was like, they gonna wheel me back. But she said that he could be in a room when they, like, they numb me in the back and stuff, so he still had plenty of time. So I get in the room, and I was in my bed, so they wheeled me on my bed to the room. I get in there, and they talking to me, asking me how I'm feeling and stuff. I feel fine. They lift me up, put me on the operation table, and it was just a lot going on. The only thing I remember is, alright, we're gonna sit you up. They set me up, and literally she was like, alright, you're gonna start feeling your body go numb from the bottom down, and let me know if you feel anything on the left side or on the right side. Like, she was like, I guess, poking me in my back. She was like, you know, quick sting. But it didn't sting to me, like, it didn't hurt at all. But I guess because I had so much medicine in my body, so that's why I didn't feel it. But she stung me, and then I instantly felt my body go numb, because I just started, like, I felt like I didn't have no control over my body. Like, my top was just, like, falling over. I felt like I was paralyzed, if that makes sense. And, like, I'm literally falling over, and, like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm falling. That's the only thing I was saying. But she was like, you're not falling, I got you. Like, she was literally holding me up. When I tell you my girl was there every step of the way, she was there every step of the way. But she literally was holding me up. And I'm a big old girl, and she held me, and she was like, I got you, you're gonna be okay, I got you. And then they poked my back. She was like, do you feel anything? I'm poking your left side, do you feel anything? I'm like, no. She's like, she poked my right side. She's like, do you feel anything? I'm like, no. And then they laid me down, and then she's like, all right. Pete came in, and they started. Felt a little, but it wasn't like I didn't feel the cut, I didn't feel none of that, but I felt like the tugging and stuff. Of course, I felt that. And, you know, they cut and stuff, and it was, like, quiet for a little while. I mean, that's why it went so fast. It just went so fast. And, I say about 5 minutes passed, 5-10 minutes passed, and all I hear is, he's out. And, like, I hear the lightest cry. I swear to God, like, the lightest cry. And then it was like, all right. And they just showed me this small little tiny baby. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's my son. And he was so beautiful. And I just started crying. I was like, oh my God, that's my son. Like, seeing my son for the first time. Like, seeing this baby that I talked about to you guys, and that I carried for 30 weeks. I had my son at 30 weeks. At 30 weeks and 1 day. Just to see this beautiful face. I talked about this beautiful face. I dreamed about this beautiful face. To see this beautiful baby that I created. That's me. And I'm looking at him, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, and I just start crying. So I'm just like, that is my son. And I just close my eyes and I just start crying. They instantly, like, take him, you know, of course. And Pete went with him. And they asked me how I was feeling. I'm like, thumbs up. And I just kept my eyes closed while they finished working on me, sewing me up and stuff. And literally, they sewed me up in like 5-10 minutes. And they wheeled me to the recovery room. And, I don't remember much about that day, honestly, after I had the C-section. Came to check my blood pressure. They gave me medicine, pain medicine, stuff like that. Asked me how I was feeling. I told my sister and Pete to go, like, see my son in the NICU. Because, you know, I couldn't go right away. And, yeah. I eventually went later that night to go see him. And I went to go see, or later on in the day, went to go see him. And I was still like in the hospital because I was in the hospital bed because I couldn't get up or walk anything. They put me in a wheelchair, so I couldn't touch him or anything. But just to see him, it was just like very shocking to me. But my son was born on September 27th. He weighed 2 pounds, 5.7 ounces, and he was 14.5 inches long. And that is my beautiful baby, and I love you so much, my man. I really, really do love you so much. And you're the best thing that's ever happened to me in this life.